Some of the huge obstacles that, Derek faced and even the family faced as a whole is, when we would go out in public. People pointing at Derek.
Of course, wondering, why does he look the way he does?
And that always broke my heart as a mom.
My name is Derek Fawcett. I was a recipient for the face transplant.
Thinking of Derek as a child growing up, Derek was always very ambitious and always strived to be the best at everything. He was always harder on himself than we had to be on him. He got an A- or a B+, it wasn't an A, right? So he was always very motivated to be the best that he could be.
Childish. All ages out there. So glad she's first out. I put a lot of prep for myself to you. Well, I was working at the time too, but I stepped into myself. I didn't talk to mom or dad. Now I wish I would have.
It all started on March 5th of 2014, and Derek went skiing with his friends, so he was home on spring break. And that night, we had made plans to go to church the next morning. And Jerry gets up for work at 1:30 in the morning, so I got up because he had friends over, and I was just going down to check on them. And the kids were gone, and I went up to Derek's room, and he wasn't in his room. And I went downstairs, and we found his keys in his wallet, and I told Jerry that Derek's not in his room, and I can't find him. And I was searching our house, and Jerry was searching outside. And I heard the loudest scream I'd ever heard of agony and pain when Jerry had found Derek laying in a snowbank with a gun laying next to him, and the gunshot wound to his face, and Derek's face missed.
When I woke up, I had no idea where I was. I talked and nothing.
And when I told him that he'd been in an accident, as he stated, the first thing he wrote was it a car accident? Did I hurt anyone?
She said, no, not that. What happened? Told me what I did, and my heart got saved. I wrote down, I would never do that to myself.
I had grabbed his hand and I said, you lived for a reason. And I said, it's going to be a long journey.
I came to HR, to my journey, and I would ask me if I wanted to go through with this. I told her, I put down, life is at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there.
Hi, my name is Mary Pritz. I'm a donation liaison with LifeSource and also the lead for the committee that helped Derek through his journey of his face transplant. There were many logistics involved in preparing for this surgery. It started way back when Derek was actually listed on the transplant list. We began writing, reviewing, editing many processes. So when we found a donor, we looked at all the details, meaning his blood type. We needed to make sure that he was a male between the ages of 18 and 10 years older. Because Derek was 28 at the time, we went up to 38. And so he matched all of those criteria, inclusionary criteria that Mayo had given us. I worked with my colleague to speak to the mom of the potential donor at that time, and we gave her language in order to ask for this special gift. And without hesitation, she said yes. We were all just very overjoyed, but we couldn't relish in that moment because we had things to do. We had to move on, and Derek needed his space.
He goes, we practiced, we went through it. He goes, we just need to go and do it. And he never left his side during the whole entire 60-hour surgery. He stayed with them the entire time.
He never seen himself till the big reveal.
And then his actual reveal was on March 5th, 10 years to the day that he shot himself.
Or do you take that day?
And he had no clue. He had no clue. We're taking a day that has been completely devastating to Derek, our family, and you're turning it into one of the most glorious but blessed days that we could ever have.
The heart is a life-saving operation. The kidney, for the most part, is a life-saving operation. With facial transplantation, it's a life-giving operation. You can live without it, but you're missing out on life.
People don't point to stare at me anymore. Heaven knows I do wear my glasses, which helps out with my vision. They say drink the water bottle. You know, open the lips. Just going out, hang up with friends, going bowling, to movie theaters. Just take for granted. Only help others you ain't dead. But shall we story, or if the someone's got to, I'll be there to listen and give them advice. And that's my goal right now, is to help others.